Hi you guys, Sarah here, Vintage and Painted.
A mask, it's really good, I love this. And you want to protect your hands when you're using. Do you want a piece? Does Jess want?
Oh my word. Doesn't go with. I wanted to open my garage door, but I've got plywood leaning up against the door for a kitchen job that I'm doing. Video coming. Hi you guys, Sarah here, Vintage and Painted. I'm so glad that you're here. If you're coming back, I love you to bits. If you're new, stick around, see what you think of this video and consider subscribing. That would be amazing. I have been doing some videos that are up and coming, like I just said, some builds, and this week, this video is not a build, it is a makeover for a friend of mine. She dropped off a vanity that she would like me to make over, and she sent me some things that she likes. She does like a more rustic looking kind of piece, and so I'm going to peel back the layers on this piece, see what I have to work with, and for me that's going to determine where I go from there. I also have a seat that goes with it, so we'll be doing a little bit of upholstery, not a lot, a cheating kind of upholstery. Cheating? I'm not doing any sewing, let's put it that way. Just stapling. And we're going to transform this well-loved vanity into something that can be continued to be loved with a different look. If you want to see how I do that, stick around and let's get into it.
I'm gonna stick my fan on as well. Okay. Free mask, it's really good, I love this. And you want to protect your hands when you're using
a heat gun, and I'm using the Wagner heat gun that I just got from my local hardware. I don't even know. Anyway, they got a couple of models, but it's a good one.
Nice tight seal. I'm going to have a lovely face mask imprint later.
I've been umming and ahhing about what I wanted, how I want to strip it back. Everyone, or not everyone, a couple of people have said to me that I'm making it harder on myself than I need to by not using chemical stripper. And to be honest, you guys, I just don't love chemical stripper. I don't love harsh chemicals to begin with, but I really, really dislike chemical stripper. I know it's the easier thing to do and would save me time and effort, but honestly, the cleanup is a nightmare, and it's just a really harsh chemical. Sometimes you can't get around it and you have to use it, and I may end up having to swap over to using it, but right now I'm going to use a scraper and my heat gun. I'm going to mask up and I'm going to see if I can scrape back the finish, especially on the flatter surfaces. Sure, the curved surfaces are going to be a pain in the bum, and I'll probably end up having to use stripper on those, but yeah, I'm not excited about it. You can tell by my face. My mum and dad will always say, you wear your emotions on your sleeve, if you will, and I really do. You can tell when I'm excited about something and when I'm not, and I'm 100% not excited about the thought of having to use chemical stripper, but I have it if I need it, and I don't like it. But anyway, I'm getting off my soapbox and I'm going to get to work. Here we go.
Inside of the door is painted, but I'm not going to touch that. I'm just doing the outside. And I'm going to also have to address the veneer coming up there. But I'll worry about that later, depending on what I end up doing, what paint finish I end up doing. The veneer on this one is, you can see, and somebody sanded
down the edges, so I'm just going to peel that right off. Okay, so when you are using an orbital or any kind of sander, you really want to give light pressure, you guys. You see my hand, I'm only using 1 or 2 fingers, just sort of guiding the orbital in the direction that I want to go, which is usually in the direction of the wood grain. And not only that, you want to make sure, see how it's spinning at the bottom, that the pad is orbiting. It's orbital sander, it's doing its thing. If you press down, it is going to put more pressure on that pad, stop your orbital from moving around like it should, and it's going to create a crazy amount of deep squiggles in your wood or veneer, whatever you're sanding. So light pressure, go in the direction of the grain, and I'm using 100 grit here, so I'm tearing up through the paint. But if you didn't want to tear it up, you wanted to do a smooth finish, start at 120 or a 150 and work your way up from there.
So there's a little surprise underneath the paint. So I'm not going to keep a wood surface.
I told you I was going to have a mask face. I am not going to do a natural wood top of now. That's confirmed that for me. So what I'm going to do now is just roughly go over it. Going to change my orbital pad out to a 220, smooth it out. I'm not interested in getting it back to bare wood now, and then I'm going to shellac it and just give it a nice barrier between that the wood and the paint. But I am going to clean up the edges a bit. I'm going to use my Surf Prep sander for that, and linked below in the description, every video that I do, every single video, I may miss it on occasion and some things off of it, but every single video that I do, in the description goes a little blurb, how you can support my channel, and then what I use in the video, and then underneath that is like socials and a disclaimer and blah blah blah. So in the description is going to be listed, underneath how you can support this channel is going to be listed everything that I use, paint, top coats, shellac, and a link, an affiliate link to all of that. So in the description if you're curious about anything that I'm using in today's video. So that's what I'm going to do now, change my orbital pad out to a 220, which is a softer, not softer, soft is not the right word, but it's a higher grit, which means it's more gentle, and just smooth everything out is all I'm interested in doing now that I've seen that. And then we'll move on to the next thing. Before we get right into it, tricked ya, I just want to say, Jax, thank you so much. Do you see these guys? Okay, hang on. No, you can't. All you can see is a black blur in a box. Jax is a channel member who also has spoiled me rotten. I came home from work the other day to a package on my step and I was like, what is this? Thank you so much, you guys. These are like sanding, what's the right name? contour sanding grips. Much better. It's a mini sanding mouse. Like my, isn't that just the cutest thing you've ever seen? I know, I'm such a dog, but that's okay. And it came with some sanding pads. That's amazing. Thank you so much. I am going to get so much use out of this. Okay, so getting those out cracked the wood. I'll show you. You see the little crack running down there. I have a sneaky suspicion it was already cracked when the person put those so those were for little casters, those things that I took out, and I don't imagine that was original to the piece. I think somebody's put that in there, because honestly it's really not big enough, right, to drill down into it to make room for the casters. So now I have to glue it, and then I'll fill the holes with some Bondo to make it all brand new. Okay, so some of the joints you can see, maybe, oh, okay, you can really see it on this one, how the joint is coming apart. Just needs re-gluing, that's all, and my glue is all the way up there. So I'm just going to run some glue and clamp. There's nothing wrong with painting the inside of the drawers. I've done it before myself. I like that look on several things. Can I just suggest not painting the slides, okay? Avoid getting paint on those at all costs, because what happens is when you paint this and you're sliding your drawer in and out, it has potential to stick. So you're best to, since this drawer here is it just slides in on its side, then you're better off just to leave this exposed wood, and wood on wood, it is really good to slide, but paint on wood, not so good. This feels like probably a spray paint or a latex paint, and the properties in either of those can cause stickage. It's a technical word. Alright, that's all. So I had to sand these back. I'm leaving the drawers black just because, why not? But yeah, while I was sanding the fronts, I just went ahead and sanded the slides too. Okay. Okay, primed. It's been a few days, so it's definitely dry. I have a brief, okay? This is what the client would like. She is all about Chippy and distressed. So if this is not your cup of tea, that's okay, that's cool. Maybe tune in for another one, or just stick around and just have a look and You know, you don't have to love it. If you're watching it, you don't have to love it. You could be like, oh, it's not my cup of tea, but good on ya, or whatever. Or, you know, if you hate it that much and you have to tell me about it, then go right ahead. I've got thick skin. I'm going to end up painting a light color. She's picked a color, but I'm going to paint dark underneath. So I'm going to be starting with, of course, DIY paint in Old School. And I'm using Debbie's new brush. It's called the Little Dipper. It's such a cute brush. It's like a French tip by DIY. So cool. You can't order it on the website, but you can order the paint. So if you click on the link in my description and you want to try out any of the paint products that I used today from DIY, use that link and put your order in over there on that website. But for the brushes are purchased through retailers, and I'm not going to name specific retailers, but if you use that link and go on over to Debbie's website, you can click find a retailer near me, and you can see if the retailer near you has these brushes. If they don't, there are a couple of my favorite YouTubers / DIY paint stockists that I can message you. If you send me a message, I will let you know who they are and you can order it through them. Alright, going in on the edges and around in certain places. I'm not doing it everywhere. Okay, that is all dry. I'm going to push it in here because I'm going to paint it. I am now going to be using, no surprises, Crinoline, which is a beautiful cream color. And I am using, I don't know the name of this one, but it's the DIY brush oval. I bet it has some sort of cute name. I think that's about like 2 inches, and we're just going right over the top of everything. She's into creams. She sent me photos. When I distress back, I'm going to see that black. I'm going to do a wet distress. See how that goes. I let it dry for a little bit and went shopping for some new fabric for the seat. Can't wait to show that to you. It's so cute, and it was on sale. And these brushes, these new brushes, while DIY paint is a clay and chalk-based paint and naturally a more textured paint, with these brushes you can get a smooth finish, you guys. It's amazing. The bristles are so soft, and you can really get a smooth finish with these brushes. If you're after a textured brush, I suggest using a natural bristle brush. I have a few of those, and they really bring out the brush stroke, leave the brush strokes with the DIY paint. It's really good. So they're my recommendations. Lopping it on there nice and thick too in some places, especially on the flat surfaces. This brush, look at that. How much paint it holds onto. It's holding onto a lot of paint, which is great. I want it to do that. And I'm gonna end up actually doing a second coat of the cream. I'm gonna let that dry and then I'm gonna wet distress. But I'm happy with how it looks. Anyone notice that I didn't do the legs? Well, I have a little something planned for the legs. What I'm gonna do now for the legs is, hold on Nelly, I'm gonna continue the cream all the way down, okay? And I want it watered down. Going up into the cream. Okay. I want to still be able to see the wood. But I want it more bleached. But I don't want it as solid as up here. I'll give you a close-up of the next leg. Sorry, I just battered the camera. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry and do a second coat on the body. Alright, I found some old ply I've got. It's gonna be a lot better if I've got something than that heavier particle board. Hopefully this works. Trim this guy out. Okay. Yep. And okay, everything is dry. I've done 2 coats. I did second coat, it's just like the first coat. I've got an old rag, okay, and it's clean, but it's rough. Like, I don't know what I used it for, but it's rougher, which is what I want, because I'm going to wet it. And it's going to make a quick job of wiping back. But I don't want to press too hard because I don't want to go past the old school in and to the undercoat. So I'm just that's why I wanted a more scratchy rag to get me there. And I'm just gonna wipe back places that would receive knocks. Not really spraying the piece. I think there's a few ways that you can do it. Some people spray pieces. I think I've done that in the past as well, but this time I just want to use the rag. Alright you guys, well this one was fairly painless. I have to tell you, I did break my bloody heat gun. I guess it was too hot of a day, or I was holding it too close to the piece and I overheated the element inside and it gave up on me, which I don't blame it because I would have given up too. I've had plenty of days this week where I've overheated and almost gave up. But anyway, relatively painless piece to make over. Unexpected, friend dropped it off. It took me a minute to get to it because I have been fairly busy with building kitchen cabinets and then painting furniture in between all of that. So, but she's done. My friend is going to come get it in a couple of days, so that'll be good. More room in my shop for cabinets. She is a girly girl, loves Farmhouse, loves the shabby chic, loves pink. Let me know, is that something that you think has gone out of style? I've watched a few videos where people have said Farmhouse and shabby chic is going out the door. I still happen to like it. I think I've asked this question before. If it is going out of style for you guys, is there a style that you would like to see that maybe I haven't attempted, or I have and you want to see me do it again? I know I've definitely asked that question, so I'm curious again because I have lots of pieces, you guys, behind this staging wall to make over. So send your ideas my way. I will be more than happy to see what I can do. I've got a buffet, I've got dresses, I've got end tables, nightstands, that sort of thing. So let me know in the comments, what do you guys want to see? I hope you enjoyed this video and you got value out of it. If you did, consider subscribing and hit that bell notification. More than ever, that is so important because I've changed my upload consistency and you will get notified when I go live, so or when I upload those videos. In a second, you are going to see a button if you're in the mood to binge watch a few more of my videos. Click that button and I will see you on the next one. Love you guys. Bye. I don't know why I just yelled at you. I'm so sorry. I love you to bits though. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye, you guys.